get back here. You're on.
Sorry, I need a spoon.
Look at this. This is not a dress rehearsal.
Okay.
Brian Warmingham from the wharf of the Madison Beach Hotel. He's like, I need a spoon. Go grab a spoon. You got a spoon?
I got a spoon.
Good. Nice to see you. You had a
Matt.
couple of weeks off for the winter to do a couple of things. Refurbish your restaurant and rejigger the menu a little bit, getting ready for the spring menu. When?
Just after Easter, actually.
There you
the week
go.
After Easter.
And now, when you take that little vacation time, you don't turn your brain off from chefing, do you?
No.
No.
Not even when I'm home. I'm always doing something.
Which is not often. He tells me it's 80 hours a week. Let's talk about, we're going to go into a port wine and herb brine for lamb, which is going to be on the menu over the next couple of weeks. But let's get started on that. You got the mise en place already.
Yes, mise en place is here on my right side here. So quickly, I'm just going to show you. We got some fresh rosemary, thyme, garlic.
I got the time.
Yes, I know you do. Garlic, okay. Port wine. I can just, would you like to drink it? No? Okay. Yeah,
no,
right into the pot. All right, I'm on the clock. There you go. Water to balance out that wine. We don't want it to be too strong in the wine. Salt. And you're being very generous with the salt.
Right.
Of course, a brine is basically
a very salty thing.
Yes,
salt and sweet.
Yes,
right?
yes. And then sweetness to balance out the saltiness.
There you go. So much for that low sodium story we did just a half hour ago.
Which would be honey in this case.
Now, talk to me. Am I silly to ask this question? You're going to bring this to a boil.
Yep, right to a boil. That's it.
Now, I admittedly have never used a brine before at home. I've done marinades. Very different because this, obviously you're going to get it all off whatever you're going to the brine, but also this takes, you're going to leave the lamb in there for long.
At least 24 hours, what I do.
There you go.
So really a brine is really just impregnated water with salt, and what you're doing is you're taking this piece of meat, you're soaking it in the brine. It's kind of set. The salt is getting inside that meat, and it's kind of like creating these little air pockets.
You're not leaving on the boil for the 24 hours.
No. You're going to take it off, cool it down as quickly as possible.
Right.
Okay, and then your brine, once it gets to 41 degrees, your meat can go right in for 24 hours.
Put it in the fridge and set it and forget it, as they like to say.
And if you're pressed for time, you could add ice, but I would not recommend that.
Don't do that. Okay, let's talk about, we also have a couple of other things, so this is all going to come together nicely.
Yeah. So
what are we doing here?
We got a pea puree for a sweet pea risotto.
Okay, very nice.
So we got shallot and garlic going in first. We're going to sweat that down. Okay. And you know I'm going to work quickly because you know what happens every time I do this.
You always do.
I run out of time.
Yeah, Jojo, our producer, just said he's doing great, but tell him to move along. He's got 2 minutes.
Spring peas, okay? Mint and basil.
Right.
For your herbs, okay? Give that a little quick stir. I had salt here somewhere. There we go. Salt right in. Okay. Now we're just kind of we're applying some heat to the peas and the herbs here, right? Because it's helping bring that chlorophyll out.
Right.
Color is what you're looking for.
Color
here.
is what
you don't want to
you don't want to overdo it because then the peas turn that.
Yes.
A, they're mushy, and B, they're that off-color green that nobody's going to eat.
Yes. Right. So water. Okay, don't get fancy with chicken stock here. You don't need it. It's just gonna. You really want to. You want this peas and the herbs to speak for themselves.
Got to stand out a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as it comes to a boil, right into the blender.
Really?
That's it. That's all you got to do. Into the blender. And then what I do recommend here is, at work we use these too. You have ice on the bottom.
Right.
This goes on top after it's pureed.
Hold that up. I want everyone to see that again. Ice in the first one.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Right on top, and then you cool it down as quickly as possible.
That is very interesting.
Yes.
I want the people to see that tip. That is good. All right.
You need to preserve that color. That's the main important reason there.
We're down to 1 minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
All right, so here's our risotto base. Obviously, it's just your traditional risotto base. The pea puree that I just put in there with some peas.
And I was going to say, you leave a couple of peas left over.
Yes. Okay. Risotto's going to go on the plate here.
Go ahead.
Do I have a good...
You're doing fine.
All right.
You've got plenty of time.
There you go.
I'll just take it out of Rachel's weather segment. It's fine.
Yeah. All right, and then this is a mint pesto. All right, again, listen, we're just talking about mint, a little bit of parsley, pine nuts, cheese, oil, puree.
I always laugh because you think pesto is just going to be basil, but no, you can put any
mint
herb
pesto, and we all know how mint does well with lamb. Right?
How long does the lamb go in the oven once it's done brining?
So you're going to char it on the grill. That's what I recommend.
Right.
And then after you char it, throw it in the oven for like 12 minutes or into your desired temperature time. Right. So we have our lamb here. Okay, see the char on that? You need that char.
That is beautiful. Now carve up a piece because I love my lamb lollipops. You can find Brian and team at the Wharf at Madison Beach Hotel. What a beautiful landmark on the shoreline. If you haven't been there, you are missing out. And you're doing brunch? Yes?
Yes, every Sunday.
Every Sunday. Look at this. And you did that in 4 minutes. Look at that. And only I had JoJo, our great producer, screaming in my ear. It's okay. Rachel, it's your turn to do weather. Brian, thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Always a
Anytime.
pleasure to see you. That's good.